Yeah, thank you so much. All right, good evening again, everyone. And it's nice to have everyone on call this evening. I'll just start by welcoming everyone to the tonight's book review. That is Making It Big that we're reading by Femi Otedola. I'm your moderator. My name is Murade Olajuba, and I have my reviewer with me, Laja Max Mood. Yeah. So I'll just quickly run through what we went through last week. So last week we started the session 3 of this book, and Emmanuel took us through the lesson 10, don't fool around with your health, where Femi Otedola told us that it's mandatory for us to get at least annual checkup once you get to a certain age. And also, Kazim highlighted 3 take home for us. It talked about alcohol being take home. That is from the book, what he read out of the book, alcohol, which Femi Otedola told us that at a certain age he stopped because he had to weigh his option. Is he really getting anything out of it? And Kazim also mentioned that based on his is a Muslim and his religion doesn't accept such. So he also emphasized on that. He also told us that we should take care of our parents, like Femi Otedola mentioned in the book, where he had to be the real caregiver for his dad. And also he told us that we should start working on our future by knowing what we need to eat. Those were the 3 take home that he took or that he highlighted from the meeting last week after Emmanuel broke down, destroyed everything, and told us that the common diseases in Nigeria and how we should ensure that we take care of our health, because we all know that health is wealth. So today we'll just quickly go through lesson 11, which says pay a premium if need be. And I have here with me Laja Maxmon that will also be breaking it down for us. And once it's done, we would call on anyone that has anything to add to the call. And we are right on our way to success. All right, thank you. So I'll
All
just
right.
hand over to the virtual lesson to Laja, to Mr. Laja. Thank you so much.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Laja Maxmon. Actual name is Omolaja Robert Akiniyi, and I'm a friend of Kazim. I believe I'm also a friend of the house, and I'll be talking about the need or the reason why you pay. I mean, why you need to pay a premium if needed. So I think already a lot of people have talked about um the book. So I need not go over those things that the guys have already talked about. So I'll be talking about, what's the reason why you need to pay a premium if need be. Now, I will suggest something for everyone that everyone should subscribe to a newsletter called McKinsey and Co. McKinsey and Co. And I'll spell that. McKinsey is spelled M for monkey, C for cat, K for kerosene or whatever, I for information, N for Nigeria, S for S, then EY, that's EY, and Co. So they have a newsletter that they send regularly. So you see, this McKinsey is a company, it's a it's a consultant company, consulting firm. It's just like Ernst and Young, like PwC, like Deloitte and Cooper, Anderson. So that's what the consultant company is like. The firm is like. So I would suggest that all of us should subscribe to their newsletters. Since I was in the university, I've been reading their newsletter. They used to call it McKinsey Quarterly. And how did I get to know it? Then I had this author called Tom Peters. Tom Peters was a consultant. He talks a lot. He talks a lot about management. It's just a management consultant. So he talks a lot about management consultancy, and he talks a lot about management generally. He served in McKinsey. So most of the, young students, when they are done with a university and they make good grades and wants to go into management consultancy, they end up in McKinsey. And why did I say this McKinsey? Because I'm going to narrow it down to the issue of Femi Otedola's case. Now, there's nothing that you want to venture into that some people have not done before. If you want to conquer the world, several empires have conquered the world before. If you are not talk about narrowing down to businesses, small businesses. So if you want to do business, there's no kind of business that you want to do that someone has not done before. So they have cases, case studies, well documented case studies, failures, all the things that you need to know about the businesses or about the particular business that you're going into. Now, when Femi Otedola said you should pay premium, if you read that book, he was talking about the amount he paid to consultants just for them to help him do you know, um, just for him to help, just for the consultancy company to help him carry out some research or do a feasibility study concerning a particular business. Now you'll be wondering, is this capital? No, it's not capital. It's investment in research and development that goes into apologies, I muted before. It's the amount of so when you invest in such things, it will help you to it will help you to forestall or foresee some challenges that you could easily avoid. Because if you don't invest into such research or into such feasibility studies or into such materials that only management consultants can give, further down the line in your business, further down the line in your business, you can run into such mistakes and incur a lot of debts in the business. So that is what I want to talk about, especially especially in the area of investing premium before you commend any business, before you start any business, or before you do any business, or not even business, even even in the area of your career, in career development, there's a reason why one needs to pay premium. And I'll give you some examples. For instance, people are just starting their career. Maybe you want to go into a particular field. I will give a classic example. In Nigeria, you could study mathematics. And you know that if you study mathematics, what you could become is maybe a teacher or something. But that same mathematics, you could use it to become an investment banker. That same mathematics, you could use it to become an economy analyst. That same mathematics, you could use it to become a financial analyst, but you must be willing to pay the sacrifice. You must be willing to pay the premium. As a matter of fact, that same mathematics, you could use it to become a tech person, depending on what area you are willing to. So, in a nutshell, you must be willing to pay the premium, and the premium is usually very high. The premium is usually very high. At the instant you'll be looking at, oh, what am I going into? And the premium does not even it does not need to be money all the time. It could be capital intensive and it could be time. It could be investment of your time. For instance, studying a particular course in the university might take you 7 years to study. Studying a particular course in school might take you 5 years to study. And even when you're done with your first degree, you might need to go on to go on for further studies, and that takes time. It takes resources. It takes your money. It takes a whole lot of things, and it takes money as well. So we're not just looking into business alone. We have talked about business, and we're also looking into career, because people always say it's not everybody that will be an entrepreneur. Sure, it's not everybody that will be an entrepreneur. And some people will say, oh, it's not everybody that we work 9 to 5, But whether you're 9 to 5 or you're an entrepreneur, or you are in ministry, or you are in charity, or you are in impact work, or you are in politics, whatever field you find yourself, you must be willing to pay the premium. So take for instance, if you look at some of the previous pages in that Femi Otedola, there was a time that Femi Otedola said that he was tired of going into university. You may not have the best of education, but street is even education. Studying your parents is a lot of education. Living your social circle is a lot of education. Your community is a lot of education. Places that you have worked is a lot of education. When you're running your business, even running a business is a lot of education. And education never finishes. It's ongoing. I remember when Femi Otedola was having issues with the House of Representatives, and this popular man, Farouk Lawan, was having issues and all that. And he was speaking some kind of English, and the press was saying blah, blah, blah. He never mind, he never even worried because the man is well educated. Okay, so and speaking English is not where it ends or where it starts. English is just part of it, okay? Because of the language that we speak in Nigeria, we have a general language which is English language. So I think at that point, that is where I would like to summarize it. We must be willing, we must be willing to pay the premium for whatever venture. We must be willing to pay the premium for whatever venture. And besides that, there's something else that I jotted down. Sorry. And this is what I jotted down because I didn't even know that I was looking into that particular place. So I don't know if you guys can take this. This is what I jotted down. And I wrote that honesty and integrity built in good characters can unlock untold opportunities for you. I'll take that again. Honesty and integrity, deep rooted in character, in good character, can unlock untold opportunities for you. So, what am I trying to say? Even in these areas, you are trying to pay a premium. You know, at times, premium might be forgotten opportunities. They might come to you and tell you, oh, we are giving you this opportunity, but blah, 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 blah. Let us have this, blah, 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 blah. This is what you get. And you say, I'm sorry, because of my integrity, I will not be willing to. It's like all these what you see in books, and they say that instant gratification and delayed benefit or delayed gratification. So I think I've already done my 20 minutes. Moderator, please let me know if I've done my 20 so that I can stop.
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you so much, Mr. Laja. Thank you so much for the review. So I'll take it on from here. All right. Mr. Laja told us that we should try and subscribe to McKinsey and Co. and we will get the monthly review that we can just read and gain more knowledge, right? All right. So during my own review, if you have any contribution, you can also raise your hands while I just quickly add to what Mr. Laja said. All right. So and one thing he said, one of the take home that he highlighted was if you neglect to do your research or fail to choose the best in the field, you aren't saving costs. And what do I understand by that? That some people sometimes what most people do is, oh, this person is maybe this person is selling hair and she's making a whole lot of money. They don't do their research and they just dive into that business and they'll just see that they are not making money. They'll just say, oh, this person, maybe she's doing XYZ or she's doing what I don't understand because we are both in the same businesses, but she's making more money than I am. Forgetting that this person has actually done market research. She knows who our target customers are. And that's why she's trying to tell us that we are not saving cost. We are setting ourselves up for failure, basically. So what she's trying to say is that when we don't do our own research, and we just dive into a particular business. We're actually setting ourselves up for business. So irrespective of whatever field, yeah, the sky is big for everyone and everyone can actually make it once we do what we are meant to do, right? He has said that he had to pay. I'm sure we read the book, but I'll just quickly summarize what he mentioned. He had to pay when Nigeria was trying to diversify for electricity. He wanted to pick Ikeja disco, but because they had to pay so much for that, for the best in electrical field, which was a Chinese company, they had to tell them that if they should go into this, they will make loss, and he had to pull out. And they also told Jonathan that he was pulling out at that time. And at the end of the day, people that went ahead actually made a whole loss, and the banks were all after them. Why was he saved? He was saved because he did his own homework. So basically, before we go into any business, one key thing for all of us is it's not just about who it's not just about who what people are doing. It's about where you fit in. You might be so good. So everybody is a motivational speaker. Everybody talks, but you need to know who your audience are. You need to do your basic. You need to just do your own homework so that you don't fail at the end of the day, right? We just need to do everything. Then another thing he said was that you cannot go far without structure. And I guess that is a very, very key component for us, right? We need to, if we look at organizations that are making it today, they have structure. He gave us an example of his Zeno, that was his first company, how he had everybody's number and he was giving them orders while their online managers were also giving them orders, and there were conflicts, right? So he learned his lessons from there, and all his subsequent companies, he had to put a structure in place for everyone sorry, cousin, I will call on you shortly. He had to put a structure for the organization. And he also found out that he actually made waves. He didn't have everybody's number, but the company were making money. So structure is another key thing. So I'll just pause for Kazim to go ahead and we'll take it up from there. Thank you. Kazim, over to you.
All right. Thank you. So, they are confirmed that I can hear it well, just to be sure.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you too. Okay, so the first thing is to say thank you, Maximum, for that fantastic review, and then Moradeyo for the contribution. I want to start from the beginning where he mentioned that at the beginning of his life, he knew so much about printing, about oil and gas. He knew so much about the financial institution because he ventured into it. But at 51, he started learning about power. So look at some of us today. How do we learn? How flexible is our brain? How flexible is our heart? How have we built ourselves? Is our capability to learn elastic? It's a big question. When I was reading that part, to say that at that time he was already a millionaire. He had so much money. He had so much money that he could afford to get a consulting firm to pay them $13 million. You can use your calculator to calculate that. And after that time, he picked special interest in learning power because the opportunity came up. A lot of us today, we see a lot of opportunities in front of us. How are we ready to learn? I met someone recently telling me, I would have loved to do this, but I cannot even start learning anything right now. In my mind, that is not the mindset of the people, the rich people. That's not the mindset of people that really want to make it big. So we need to learn from him. He was born 1962, and in 2013, he was still learning how to go into a new market. Secondly, is the fact that he was able to invest in something that would fetch him far, far better value. than what he currently has, right? He said he got a Chinese company that did a big audit for him and gave him reports that helped him to pick Geregu over Ikeja Disco, right? And you will see that that investment, when honestly, when I was reading it and I read that he spent $13 million for that company. In my mind, I was like, this is not something, it doesn't make sense. But at the end of the day, look at how he landed it. It made so much sense. It made so much sense because he made it clear to him the kind of investment will have gone to and how early he can start getting return from Geregu. Look at it today. He has decided to sell Geregu. He sold Geregu, and I want to believe he sold Geregu because he's going into partnership or buying some chunk of IPO from Dangote Refinery. But the point is, he went into that. Another thing that I also want to mention is um, the fact that he paid premium to get quality people to help him structure his organization. A lot of us today, if you need to pay premium, we look at premium in terms of wearing quality and designer clothes, paying premium for quality phones, paying premium for a lot of. But if you look at Otedola from the beginning, the premium he paid for where he lives, or where he lives, or where he decided to live, you will see it. He said he was leaving, he had to move from his previous houses to go to the island because of what? He paid that premium to get closer to captain of industries. So it was very intentional, not just because this is where I want to live. I want to live with the big boys. I want to do all of no. He paid that particular premium for those value. And generally, what I see here is he paid premium to get more value, not just pay premium for frivolities. Thank you. I think I want over to Moses. Thank you, Moses.
Okay, thank you very much, Kazim. Thank you, Moradeyo, and to our reviewer as well. Thank you so much. Little bit I want to add, and hold on, you need to sit up so people can see my face. I don't know. I don't know if I'm visible. Okay, I'm visible now. Hi, everyone. So, the little bit I want to add to this is, and to me, it felt more like a mindset conversation. See, and I think we've all been raised with that mindset, and I think we all need to filter ourselves. Valuable knowledge is not free. I don't want to say, and I'm intentionally not saying it is expensive. I'm not saying it's expensive, so you don't think it's just a money conversation. Valuable knowledge is not free. And I think the reviewer sort of touched on it in the sense that it would take something from you. Your time, your sacrifice, there will be a trade-off. But valuable knowledge is not free. And we've all been brought up with this mindset of we have to price it. You have been cheated. You bought this at so price. You have to price it to the point where you feel like you made a gain. You know, that mindset of we don't know that all those kind of things. And when I read this chapter, I realized that for the people that know what valuable knowledge is not free, and they are not afraid to pay whatever cost. And I think he alluded to it again previously when he said he will give you an offer if he finds you as somebody that he needs, or he finds you as somebody that he will give you an offer that you cannot refuse because he knows what value is. So you need to discover what is valuable knowledge to you and be ready to pay the price for it. And that's just the truth. See, if you find something that is going to be valuable to you, a skill, an insight, a person, a connection, a relationship, it can be anything, a book, pay the price. Go and buy the book. If you need to buy hard copy, go and buy the hard copy. Save the money, buy the hard copy, read it, let it provide value to you. Because valuable knowledge is not free. So let us all work on that mindset of Obudono. You have to price it. Make sure that you negotiate so that they will not cheat you. And then when you buy something, they will say, they cheated me. See, valuable. Just find out what is valuable to you. Make sure that it's valuable to you and pay the price and keep moving. And you will see that it will bring so much turnaround for you. So that's the bit I want to add. Thank you. This was indeed a fantastic section. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Moses. All right, so someone dropped a chat and said, be intentional with your growth. Yeah, I guess everyone, we need to be intentional with your growth. What's our vision? Where do we want to be? If we know where we want to be, I guess we'll all be intentional with our growth. And okay, Kazim quoted Moses, valuable knowledge is not free. Actually, it's actually not free. Everything, in short, whether valuable or not valuable, whatever, I know that everything has a price to pay. If you decide not to go to school and you don't want to do anything tomorrow, there's a price that you pay for that. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, there's also a price to pay for that. So everything in this world, good or bad, has a price to pay. So let's just pick whichever one we want. And I'm sure that everyone wants something valuable. The price we all want to pay is something that will help us tomorrow. Right? We don't know what tomorrow is, but we need to prepare for tomorrow. All right, so it's 8:01 on my time. I'd like to appreciate everyone that joined the call. Thank you all for joining this evening call, and I'm sure we have a lot of take-homes from Laju to Kazim to Moses to Toib that dropped something. I'm sure we all have something to take home, and I'm sure right now we'll change our mentality from Ubodo no, like Moses has said, Ubodo no, no dada. Okay, that means price is very well until you get but just let's know what is valuable to each and every one of us. Let's define that, and we are right on our way to success. All right, so please join us on all our social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, and also at the end of this we'll also post on YouTube. Please do well to like, subscribe, and watch the recording, and also send to your friends and family. All right, see you same time next week, and have a lovely evening. Bye for now.